My name is Evelyn. I'm 83 years old, and I've been carrying a heavy secret for most of my adult life. My three siblings and I haven't spoken in 40 years. Not a single word, not a Christmas card. And now we're strangers. People always ask how something like that happens.
They think it must have been some big, dramatic fight. Money, betrayal, scandal. But the truth is quieter, and in some ways, worse. It happened slowly, one small cut at a time, until the wound was too deep to heal. Let me take you back. I was the oldest, born in 1942. Then came William in 44, Ruth in 47, and little Tommy in 51. We grew up poor but close during the war years and after, shared one bedroom, hand-me-down clothes, one bicycle between us. Mom worked nights at the factory, Dad drove a truck. We looked out for each other. That's what families did. When I was 18, I got pregnant, unmarried. In 1960, that was a disgrace. My father didn't speak to me for weeks. Mom cried every night. William and Ruth were teenagers. They didn't know what to think. Tommy was only 9 and just wanted his big sister to come home. I married the boy, George, quickly, moved 3 towns over, had my daughter, Laura, and life went on. But something shifted. I felt judged. I felt like the family embarrassment. So I visited less, called less, built my own little world with George and Laura. Then, in 1968, Dad got sick, lung cancer from years of smoking. We all came back to the house to help. For a while, it felt like old times. We took shifts at the hospital, cooked meals together, sat up late talking about when we were kids. Dad died in early 1969. That's when the trouble really started. There was a will. Not much, just the house, some savings, a few heirlooms. Dad left the house to all 4 of us equally. Said in the will, "I trust my children to decide together what's best." But we couldn't decide together. William wanted to sell and split the money. He had debts. Ruth wanted to keep it as a family home for holidays. Tommy, only 18, didn't know what he wanted. I wanted to buy them out. George and I had saved, and I dreamed of raising my kids in the house I grew up in. We met at the kitchen table one Sunday after church. Voices got loud. Old resentments came out. William said I'd abandoned the family when I got pregnant. Ruth accused me of thinking I was better than them because George had a good job. I said some things I regret, called William irresponsible, told Ruth she was jealous. Tommy just sat there crying. We left that day without agreeing on anything. Lawyers got involved. Letters went back and forth. Accusations flew. By 1971, we sold the house to strangers and split the money 4 ways. The checks were mailed. No one met to sign papers together. And after that, silence. I told myself I was protecting my peace, that they'd been unfair, that I didn't need people who judged me. Ruth probably told herself I was selfish. William likely felt we ganged up on him. Poor Tommy was caught in the middle and didn't know how to fix it.
Life moved on. We all built families. Grandchildren came, careers, moves across states. Mom died in 1985. We each attended the funeral on different days to avoid seeing each other. 40 years went by like that. Now at 83, I'm the last one left. William died of a heart attack in 2009. Ruth passed from Alzheimer's in 2018. Tommy, my baby brother, died last year from complications after surgery. I went to Tommy's funeral, sat in the back. His daughter, my niece Karen, who I'd never met, gave the eulogy. She talked about how much Tommy missed his sisters and brother, how he kept photos of all of us on his mantle, how he used to say, "Families fight, but they make up. That's what families do." I cried harder that day than I did at my own husband's funeral, because she was right, and we didn't. I've spent the last year thinking about those 40 lost years, about birthdays we didn't share, grandchildren who never met their aunts and uncles, holidays spent apart when we could have been together. And I've realized something painful. Nobody won. We all lost. Pride won. Resentment won. Stubbornness won. But love lost. Family lost. If you're watching this, and you're not speaking to a sibling, or a parent, or a child because of some old hurt, listen to me, an old woman who knows how this story ends. It doesn't matter who was right 40 years ago. It doesn't matter who said the worst thing. It doesn't matter whose feelings were hurt more. What matters is the time you have left. I wish I could tell you there's a happy ending to my story, that we made up before they died, but there isn't. There's only regret. Deep, aching regret that follows me every day. But maybe, my regret can become your warning. Here are 7 things I wish I'd done differently. If any of this sounds like your family, do them now, please. 1. Reach out first, even if you think it should be them. I always waited for someone else to call. No one ever did. Pride kept us all silent. 2. Apologize for your part only. Don't list their wrongs. Even if you were only 10% wrong, say sorry for that 10%. It opens the door. 3. Don't rehash the past right away. Start with the present. I was thinking about you. I saw this and remembered when we were kids. Small bridges first. 4. Write a letter if talking feels impossible. I wish I'd written to Tommy when he got sick. Just, I love you. I miss you. I'm sorry. 3 sentences that could have changed everything. 5. Accept that they might not respond or forgive. You can't control that, but you can control whether you try. 6. Involve the next generation if it helps. My granddaughter found Karen on Facebook last year. They've become friends. That's brought me comfort I never expected. 7. Remember, time is the one thing you can't get back. 40 years sounds long when you're angry. It feels like nothing when you're old and alone. I have pictures of my siblings on my dresser now. William in his army uniform, Ruth on her wedding day, Tommy holding his first fish. I talk to them every night, tell them about my day, say I'm sorry, say I love them. But they can't talk back. Don't wait until you're 83 and talking to photographs. Pick up the phone, send the message, drive the distance, swallow the pride. Because one day, one of you will be gone, and the silence will become permanent. If this story moved you, if you have someone you haven't spoken to in years, do something today, this week, before another year goes by. Leave a comment and tell me, who are you going to reach out to? Say their name, make it real. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe. I'm old. I don't know how many more stories I have in me, but I'll keep sharing them as long as I can, because maybe one of them will help you avoid the pain I live with. 40 years of silence, 40 years of regret. Don't let that be your story. Thank you for listening.